Hello. This is Shelley Sims coming to you live from Thrive Design. I wanted to make this video to tell you a little bit about my transformation into an interior designer. I was born of a father who was in real estate and a mother who was in fashion. So I became the perfect combination of an interior designer. I'd actually gone to school. I grew up in Fort Collins and Silverthorne. My parents were separated. And I went to school at CU for real estate, thinking that I would follow my mom's side of the family as a realtor. But that didn't go so well when I got to the math classes and the calculus classes. And I was like, nope, I'm out of here. I don't like this at all. The next thing I did was go on semester at sea and travel around the world in 1983 on the ship, basically the Love Boat, traveling for 100 days, getting school credit while traveling around the world, which was the best thing I've ever done in my whole entire life. If you can ever do it, or you'll have a child in college who wants to do it, it's the very best thing you could ever do for yourself. Luckily, my parents were both very awesome at recommending us to travel and see the world. I got back from there and decided to study philosophy and dance, where I got straight A's and everything. Once that year was over, I realized I needed to go on and figure out what my next line of study was going to be. So I decided to go to New York City to a school called Toby Coburn School for Fashion Careers. I ended up with a degree in merchandising, marketing, and management. And that was because I loved textiles and I didn't really want a job working as a department store manager at Macy's or Bloomingdale's. There was like a more creative side of me that was emerging that I didn't even know was there. I came back to Colorado, started doing display and visual merchandising, working for a gal who had her own business doing window displays and working in different stores. I did a lot of designs and visual merchandising things for another gal and her husband at the Denver Merchandise Mart. Started doing my own business, bought all of their props, made props, did party decorations, set design, all sorts of different things, and eventually got a little room. I say little because it was tiny, pushed my cart around with my hippie curls and my bell-bottom pants around the Denver Merchandise Mart, going from little window displays into designing whole showrooms for t-shirt companies with purple plexiglass that bent around the corner because purple was the color that made people buy more when they were buying t-shirts, et cetera, et cetera. So that was really my first endeavor into interior design. I then jumped completely headfirst into doing my first fix and flip. It was a property up in Boulder, up in the mountains. I was renting the property. God forbid, don't ever do that. I didn't even know I was a creative real estate investor. I just thought I was really stupid. It turns out I was just super creative and I didn't even know it, but now I know it. So I did my first flip, made a little bit of money, did a couple more flips, made a little bit of money, but then I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know how to partner with people. I didn't know how to find the properties at super cheap discounts. And all I really knew how to do was to sell real estate like my family members, my dad, my uncle, as an agent. That hadn't worked out so good for me after college. So I was too young. I didn't have the network. I just started working in different furniture stores where we were selling furniture. They also had a design feature in the back of the retail store. I worked at Jones and Harris up in Dillon, Colorado. I worked at Casey Fine Furniture in Frisco, Colorado. I also worked at a place called Designs of the Interior in Centennial. And that brings me up to about 2005. At that point, I decided I needed to move up to the mountains and start my own design business. I thought it would be a great idea to distinguish myself as a little bit different designer because I like to do Christmas designs. So my business partner at the time, Steve, we got some jobs doing Christmas decorating and doing both indoor decorating and outdoor decorating and lighting, even though we didn't even know what we were doing. We were just making it up as we went. But I had a lot of experience doing interior design. So I started getting clients who didn't necessarily live in Summit County, but had second homes in Summit County, everything from window treatments to remodeling. And that is where my business really took off, because I was really good at organizing and managing, basically being like a contractor. I actually had a contractor license in Summit County for a while, managing the remodeling process. And that's what was the most fun for me. The most fun was seeing it go from any property, a room, a home, a business, go from old, kind of outdated, not very alive and fun and functioning properly, to completely transformed and looking beautiful and functioning for the new space, for the family that's in it, for the business that's in it. I've had the privilege of doing lots of residential, lots of high-end residential working for high-end residential clients. I've also done some hospitality clients, both in Snowmass and Denver, and a little bit of retail, my own retail store called Namaste in Boulder. Not so much, a little bit of office space, but not so much, just a few office oriented type spaces, lobbies and bathrooms and things like that. So I really love textiles, color, and design. I love the transformation process. And most of all, I really enjoy creating happy and satisfied clients that call me over and over again to redo spaces that we've already done once.